take a slow breath and stay with me, because if someone has become distant lately, if their silence has been weighing on your heart, this moment is not random, and this video did not reach you by chance. It arrived because something inside you is ready to shift. And for the next few minutes, you don't need to chase anyone. You don't need to explain yourself, send another message, or replay old memories in your head. All you need to do is listen and let your body relax as your thoughts slow down. Because attraction does not begin with effort or force. It begins when you return to your center, when your energy stops leaking into worry and starts settling into calm confidence. And that calm is felt even when no words are spoken, even when there is distance, even when there is silence. And as you stay with this video, you may notice a soft easing inside you, a release of tension you've been carrying without realizing it. The urge to chase fades. The need for reassurance dissolves, and in its place, something steadier forms, a grounded presence that doesn't ask to be noticed but is impossible to ignore. This is not about control or manipulation. It's about remembering who you are when you are emotionally whole, when you are no longer reaching outward for validation, but standing firmly within yourself. And that inner alignment changes the way people feel you, think of you, and respond to you. So I invite you to stay with this video until the very end, not because of a promise, but because of a process that unfolds gently, layer by layer, each moment guiding you back into emotional balance and quiet magnetism. And if this space resonates with you, if you're drawn to calm strength, romantic depth, and emotional clarity, take a moment to subscribe now as a gift to yourself, a reminder that you deserve guidance that doesn't rush you or pressure you, but helps you reconnect with your own power. And now simply settle in. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breathing become easy, and allow yourself to listen without expectation, because the most meaningful shifts happen when you stop trying and allow the change to arrive naturally. And everything that follows in this video is designed to support that gentle return to yourself. So stay with it, stay present, and let the transformation unfold quietly as you continue listening. As you continue listening, something subtle but important starts happening inside you, and you may not even notice it right away, because real change doesn't arrive loudly. It moves in quietly, like a deep breath you didn't know you needed. And in this calm space, you begin to realize how much energy you were giving away without meaning to. How often your thoughts circled around another person, their actions, their silence, their choices, and how that constant focus slowly pulled you away from yourself. But right now, that pattern starts to loosen, because you are no longer reaching outward. You are coming back inward. And the moment you do that, your emotional weight shifts. Your presence becomes fuller, steadier, more grounded. And this is where attraction truly begins. Not in words or explanations, but in the feeling of someone who is complete within themselves. Someone who is no longer desperate to be chosen because they already feel whole. And as this sense of inner balance grows, the emotional noise fades, the urgency softens, and you may feel a quiet confidence settling into your body, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything, the kind that doesn't announce itself, but is felt deeply by others, even from a distance. Because people don't respond to need, they respond to emotional stability, to authenticity, to the calm strength of someone who is no longer chasing approval. And without trying, without forcing, your energy begins to change the way you are perceived. Your absence feels different now, heavier, more noticeable, because it is no longer filled with anxiety or longing. It is filled with self-respect and emotional clarity. And that difference is powerful. It creates curiosity, reflection, and emotional pull, not because you demanded it, but because you stepped back into alignment with yourself. And as you stay in this state, breathing slowly, listening openly, you allow this new emotional rhythm to settle in, knowing that you don't need to rush the outcome. You don't need to predict what will happen next. Because when your inner world becomes calm and grounded, the outer world responds in its own time, in its own way. And all you are doing right now is allowing that shift to deepen, moment by moment, word by word, as you continue listening. Now listen carefully, because this is where many people misunderstand what's really happening. They think attraction is something you do, something you perform, something you say at the right time. But in truth, attraction is something you become. And right now, you are becoming quieter inside, steadier, more emotionally present. And when that happens, your energy starts speaking before your words ever could. It's felt in the way you carry yourself, in the calm behind your eyes, in the absence of tension where urgency once lived. And even if you are not physically near that person, even if there has been silence or distance, this shift does not go unnoticed, because people are deeply sensitive to emotional changes, even when they don't consciously understand them. They feel it as a pull, as a curiosity, as a sudden thought that comes out of nowhere, a memory that returns without invitation. And that's because when you stop reaching, your presence becomes stronger, your absence becomes louder, and your emotional space becomes something they can feel themselves missing. Not in a painful way, but in a way that gently tugs at them, making them reflect, making them wonder, making them revisit what it felt like to be around you. And you don't have to imagine this or force it, because it happens naturally when your inner state changes, when you are no longer asking to be chosen, but standing in your own value. And as you continue listening, you may feel a growing sense of ease, a soft confidence that doesn't rush ahead or cling to outcomes. It simply exists. And that existence is magnetic, because calm certainty is rare, emotional balance is attractive, and someone who feels complete within themselves leaves an imprint that lingers long after the conversation ends, long after the silence begins. And right now, you are allowing that imprint to form again, effortlessly, by staying present, by listening, by letting your energy settle into a place of quiet strength, where nothing needs to be proven and nothing needs to be chased, and everything unfolds naturally in its own time. Now let me tell you something important, something that often feels uncomfortable at first, but becomes incredibly freeing once you understand it. Emotional distance is not the same as emotional loss. Distance is simply space. And space is where reflection happens. It's where feelings resurface, where memories breathe, and where absence gains meaning. And when you stop filling every quiet moment with effort, explanations, or emotional noise, that space begins to work in your favor. Because people don't miss what is always available. They miss what feels complete without them. They miss the presence that once made them feel understood, grounded, and emotionally safe. And as you settle into this calm state, your distance no longer feels empty or cold. It feels composed, self-respecting, and emotionally full. And that kind of distance invites curiosity instead of resistance. It invites thought instead of avoidance. And slowly, without you doing anything at all, the other person begins to feel the difference. Not as pressure, not as guilt, but as a quiet emotional echo, a sense that something meaningful has shifted. And this is where their mind starts replaying moments, not because you asked them to, but because your energy left a deeper impression than words ever could. And while you remain centered, breathing easily, listening calmly, you are no longer reacting to their behavior. You are no longer waiting for signs or messages. You are simply allowing your emotional balance to speak for itself. And that balance creates a new dynamic, one where you are no longer chasing connection, but becoming the kind of presence that naturally draws reflection, desire, and renewed attention. And as this understanding settles in, you may feel lighter, less attached to outcomes, more at ease with uncertainty, because you know now that your power doesn't come from proximity. It comes from self-respect, emotional clarity, and the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth, even in silence. At this point, you may start to notice a very different feeling inside you, a feeling that doesn't rush or beg for answers, a feeling that feels calm, steady, and surprisingly warm. And that's because you are slowly returning to your natural magnetism, the state you were in before doubt crept in, before overthinking took over, before your emotions became tied to someone else's reactions. And in this space, you are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are simply being yourself, fully, quietly, confidently. And this is the version of you that people remember, the version that lingers in someone's thoughts without trying, the version that doesn't need to announce value because it is felt instantly. And as you breathe and listen, this sense of self-trust deepens. You stop checking for signs. You stop measuring progress. You stop tying your worth to another person's timing. And in doing so, you become emotionally attractive again. Because true magnetism isn't created by intensity or persistence. It's created by emotional ease, by the feeling of someone who is at peace with themselves, who enjoys their own presence, and who doesn't abandon themselves to hold on to another. And from this place, everything changes. Conversations feel lighter, silence feels less threatening, and your energy begins to invite connection rather than chase it. And even if you never say a word, this internal shift alters the way others feel about you. Because people are drawn back to those who feel grounded, authentic, and emotionally whole. And right now, as you stay present with this calm, you are allowing that version of yourself to fully return, to settle in, and to quietly reshape the way your presence is felt in the world around you. Now, this is where everything gently comes together. Because once you stop forcing outcomes and start trusting your inner balance, life begins to respond to you in ways that feel natural rather than dramatic, subtle rather than overwhelming. And you may notice that your thoughts are no longer fixated on what might happen next. Instead, there is a quiet sense of knowing, a calm openness that allows things to unfold without resistance. And from this place, you don't need to imagine scenarios or plan reactions. You simply stay present, confident, and emotionally steady. And that steadiness becomes an invitation, an opening that others can feel even without explanation. Because when you are aligned with yourself, your energy no longer pushes outward. It draws inward, creating space for connection to return on its own terms. And if someone thinks of you, reaches out, or reflects on your presence, it doesn't come from pressure or expectation. It comes from genuine emotional resonance, the kind that can't be manufactured, only allowed. And as you remain in this state, breathing easily, listening calmly, you understand that your role is not to chase, convince, or prove anything. Your role is simply to remain rooted in who you are, because that rootedness creates clarity, attraction, and emotional depth. And whatever unfolds from here will unfold in alignment with that calm strength. whether it's renewed connection, new understanding, or simply a deeper relationship with yourself. And that in itself is a powerful outcome, one that places you back in control, not through force, but through self-respect, presence, and the quiet confidence of letting life meet you where you stand. As we come to the end of this moment together, I want you to take one last slow breath and simply notice how you feel right now. Notice the calm in your body, the softness in your thoughts, and the quiet confidence that has begun to settle in. Because this state you're in is not temporary or accidental. It's something you can return to whenever you choose. And the more often you come back to it, the more naturally your life begins to reflect it, in your relationships, in your conversations, and in the way people respond to your presence. And I want to thank you for staying with this video until the end, for giving yourself the time and space to listen deeply rather than rush forward. That alone is a powerful act of self-respect. And if this experience resonated with you, and if it helped you feel more grounded, more centered, or more emotionally clear, I invite you to continue this journey with us by subscribing to the channel, not just for more videos, but as a way of choosing calm strength, emotional depth, and personal growth in your everyday life. We're here to explore these moments together, to remind you of your worth, and to support you as you continue becoming the most balanced and confident version of yourself. So thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting the process. And remember that you are always welcome to return, to listen, to breathe, and to grow with us again whenever you need it. Have a great day because you deserve it.